Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give y'all a chance to tap in and tune in with your boy before I start building on the topic for the day, man. Hopefully you all having a peaceful Sunday morning. Hopefully Saturday evening was all good, all peaceful, all balanced out, man. We got a deep topic that we wanted to build on today. So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to tune in, tap in with your boy before I get into vent mode, man. Hopefully y'all staying out of trouble, man, staying healthy, staying productive. TZ Frank, peace, what's going on with you, bro? How you living? How you maintaining? How you holding up? So give y'all a chance to tap in, man. Chef DTV, peace, what's going on with you, fam? Trading War Stories, peace, how you living? How y'all holding up, man? How y'all maintaining? Hopefully y'all focused on y'all elevation and all that good stuff. Staying healthy. Not falling victim to the fear that they striving to instill in the people out here. So hopefully y'all staying out of that nonsense. D-Monty Magic, peace, what's going on with you? Trading War Stories, most definitely. And I was venting about this yesterday. I was supposed to tap back in yesterday, but got a little busy, so I was unable to do that. So I was venting about it briefly yesterday before I got off the stream, and now I gotta finish that up, man. Y'all know how I go. But I feel like this is a very important topic. And it's like under the radar, man. So I feel like it's very important, and I just want to build on it. Lachelle, peace, what's going on with you? Dominique, what's going on with you, my brother, man? You know, that morning meditation. Always crucial. Morning affirmations, always crucial. Mr. Bell, peace, what's going on? From the Bahamas, what's going on with you? Tavon, what's going on with you? D-Monty Magic, I was just finishing up a little bit of reading, man. I was reading that 50-cent book I told y'all about. Yeah, a little business book he dropped, man. It's a nice little joint, a lot of jewels in it. Sweet Tea, peace, what's going on? So yeah, man, I want to just start building on the topic, man. Just get some of the things off my chest in regards to this subject matter. A lot of times what has happened, what I witness a lot of people do, and it just goes back to the religious conversation that we was having yesterday. So a lot of people, when they remove religion from their lives, what they tend to do is they say that they are like spiritual, but then they start making everything in that realm religious. And one thing that they tend to do is they substitute basically God for like the universe. And a lot of people feel as though the universe shows favoritism. So they didn't just basically substituted a religious God for the universe. And they give the universe credit for everything that's happening to them in their lives. And that's just incorrect. So now all of a sudden you done left this religion to where you was praying to this personal God, because that's what it is. And now you have substituted that personal God for the universe. So every time something happens to you, you give credit to the universe. You say the universe is sending you signs. The universe is doing this, that, and the third. Why do you think you so special to where the universe is singling you out and sending you the signs specifically? Everything that's coming to you is a product of your imagination, of your mind, of your mental state. It has little to do with the actual universe, man. The universe is neutral. The universe just is. We don't have to make everything religious. We don't have to make everything, as we call it, spooky. We don't have to do that. And that's what we tend to keep doing. Why do you got to turn the universe into something that's religious? Look outside, man. The universe is neutral. The universe doesn't discriminate, man. The universe not just going to single somebody out. That's not how that works. Everything that's coming to you, peace, Justin, what's going on? Everything that's coming to you is coming to you via your mind, via your ways and actions, via your thoughts, via the words that you speak, via the words that you write down. That's what's happening. So when you get a sign, you getting that sign because of your thoughts, your state of mind. That's the reason why you are getting those signs. It has nothing to do with the universe feeling like you need to get this certain type of message. That's not what's going on. So we need to stop making the universe, we need to stop turning the universe into something that's overly religious. Stop doing that. Like I said, that universe is neutral. That universe is neutral. When they say the universe is mental, when they say everything is mental, that's what it is. So when you start getting these signs, that's you. That's you. That's all you. That's all the mental. That's all the mind. Lindell, peace, what's going on with you? Antoinette, peace, what's going on? And D Monty Magic, that's what I had said in the previous video. Basically, the universe, as within, so without type deal, as above, so below. So there's no difference between the universe outside of yourself and the universe that's inside of yourself. But again, like I said, we trade one religion for the next. So we make everything religious. So it's like one thing that religion instills in you is that you really can't give yourself credit because you don't have that power. So that power has to come from an outside source. So when we remove religion, we still hold on to those ideals. So when we call ourselves spiritual, we still clinging to those religious ideals. So it's like, all right, boom. When I was in religion, the power had to come from an outside source. But now I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but we still clinging to that religious ideal to where we think the power has to come from an outside source. So now we not religious, so now we can't be like, all right, it's this Christian God, it's this Baptist God. So now what's the next best thing? It's the universe. It's the universe. So somehow we done just made the universe spooky, not knowing that that outer universe that we see is a reflection of the inner universe. So you are that. You are that, but we relinquish that power and we give all that power to something outside of ourselves. And we make it seem like the universe is just magically working in our favor all of a sudden. Like that's not how it goes. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news because it sounds good. Who wouldn't want to feel like, the universe is singling me out. The universe is sending me all those signs and they not sending signs to everyone else. I'm special. We want to feel like that. Just like a religious person wants to feel special when they feel like their prayers have been answered. But what about the millions of religious people who pray and their prayers are not answered? Same goes for like the universe. That's why I say all of this stuff is neutral. There's plenty of people out here that are uttering certain thoughts and they not getting that reward from the so-called universe. Again, because it's not really the universe. It's not really the universe. It's just like the same way, like I said, you got some people that pray out here in these religions. You got some prayers that appear to be answered. You have some that do not. So it's the same way. All this stuff is neutral, man. All of this stuff is a product of our imagination. We are manifesting that reality, but we tend to give all that credit to outside sources. So we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop making everything overly religious, overly spooky, because it's really not that deep. It's really not that deep. The wife is in the building, y'all. Say peace to the wife. Shakira, peace. What's going on with you? Lindell, peace. True 67, most definitely. Dominique with the serendipity and the synchronicity. I mean, at the end of the day, the way I just define everything, because like I said, we deal with mathematics. So you can look at everything on a percentage basis. And I deal with like statistics and things of that nature. So basically what's happening is this is how I define and describe everything. So if I want to manifest something, I have a better chance, mathematically speaking, statistically speaking, from a percentage standpoint. I have a better chance of manifesting that reality if I do affirmations in the morning, if I jot it down, if I repeatedly focus on it, if I put in the work that's required to manifest it. That don't mean it's necessarily going to happen 100% of the time. That just increases my percentage. So if I don't do those things, a lot of people just feel like all they got to do is think it, and then it's going to happen. Well, no, that's decreasing your chances. So you may be at 40% if you just think I can just think it and it's going to happen if you're not willing to put in the work. But if I think it and I'm willing to put in the work and I'm doing what's required to manifest whatever it is that I'm striving to manifest, that 40% may go up to 80%. So I deal with everything from a percentage standpoint. If I want to make something happen, there's a formula. There's a formula in play that if I follow this formula, then I'll be able to manifest it, or I have a better chance to manifest it. And we got a lot of examples. The blueprint for everything that we want to manifest has already been laid out. So you just got to pick the blueprint that's more suitable for you. So if you wanna make $1 million, there's plenty of millionaires out here. So you just gotta study the blueprint that's more suitable to you. So if you follow this blueprint, you will have a better chance of reaching that millionaire status opposed to not following the blueprint in the first place. Airview Peach, what's going on with you? Yeah, Tavon, and that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people don't understand how it goes. Just even with like affirmations, like even with the affirmations, you still have to put in the work. Zucco Peace, what's going on with you? You always got to put in the work, and a lot of people, we overlook the work aspect of manifesting. We overlook the work aspect of manifesting, and that's because we tend to be lazy. We tend to be lazy. We overlook that. And y'all know I'm in fitness. So I mean, come on. There's no way you can just talk about getting into shape. Oh, I'm gonna just sit and think about getting. No, you got to put in the work to get into shape. There's no way around that. You can't get surgery and then automatically be into shape. You can't even like eat your way into getting into shape. You got to put in the work to get into physical tip top, to get into your optimal physical tip top shape. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. There's no way around that. If you want to reach that optimal level in regards to your physical fitness, you have to put in the work. You have to exercise. And that's where a lot of people fail. That's where a lot of people fail. You have to put in the work. So it's always a formula that's involved, and work is always a part of the formula. We always striving to take the easy way out. We always striving to take the easy way out, man. Just look at some of the greatest things that have been built, that have been manifested. Work had to be put in. Work had to be put in. There's no way around having to put in work. If you striving to build a legacy, leave a legacy behind, man, in order for you to do that, you got to build that empire. To build that empire, keyword, build. Building requires work, requires some effort. So you got to be willing to put in that work, that effort, that energy. You've got to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to do that. Stop seeking the easy way out. Stop seeking the easy way out. Beautiful Goddess Keys, peace, what's going on? Yeah, Brandy, and even with grinding harder, it's a way to grind smarter. So we always striving to work smarter, not harder type deal. But at the same time, we're not afraid of hard work. So if we do gotta grind harder, because y'all know that's the new thing. A lot of people shunning working harder. So they say, you should work smarter, not harder. But at the same time, if I gotta work hard, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. If I got to put in hard work, I'm willing to put in that hard work. I'm not afraid to work hard. I'm not afraid to work hard. Sometimes that's just what you're going to have to do, especially like in the beginning of the building stage. You may have to work a lot harder. So it's just like with what I'm doing with the gym. I got to put in more hours than I really want to, but I have to do that in the beginning stage. I don't have anybody working for me and things like that. So I got to put in more time, more work. And that's going to afford me more time to rest in the future. So that's why I'm willing to put in that work now. So that's how you got to look at it. You got to look at it. They say start with the end in mind. So you just got to look at it like I'm putting in this work now to rest later. But a lot of times we be too overly focused on the here and now. Like, man, I don't want to put in this work now. I just don't want to do it. And it's laziness. That laziness be talking. That laziness, it overpowers everything, man. So we got to stop being lazy. Yeah, Sanchez, you cannot replace it. You cannot replace it. And that's why I'm telling people that constantly all the time. Listen, it feels good. What people don't understand, they call this stuff feel-good knowledge. Basically, all that type of stuff is just like feel-good rhetoric. It feels good to think that the universe is working in your favor. It just feels good to think that. That don't necessarily make that an actual fact, an actual reality. It's just something that feels good to say and believe. Same thing goes for like the religious person. It just feels good. It's feel good rhetoric. It's feel good. It's a feel good philosophy to just think everything is working in your favor. The universe is singling you out. Your God is singling you out. Like I said, that just feels good. That feels good, but that's just not an actual fact. It's not an actual reality. Universe just doing its thing. It's neutral. It's just doing its thing. It's doing its thing, man. That universe, it has a mind of its own. It's doing its own thing. It's got its own duties that it has to tend to. There's a whole inner universe inside of you that has all the power. Sharif, man, what's going on with you? King Cease, what's going on with you? True 67, most definitely. Eli Smooth, what's going on? And again, like I'm saying, it's not the universe working in your favor. To say we are the universe again, that's cool, but it's you working in your own favor. It's you working in your own favor. That's all that's happening. Is you working in your own favor. That's it. Again, if you striving to accomplish anything in life, the only way that it's going to be accomplished is if you put in the work. So we could just eliminate terms like a universe, like a God. We could just leave that stuff where it's at. The universe is going to be the universe regardless. What's happening when it comes to manifestation is you willing to put in the work, you changing the perception, you changing the perspective. That's all you. That's all you. Anything else, like I said, we can make it sound good. We can make it sound good, especially as black people. That's what we like to do. We like to tell stories. We embrace poetry. So we like to make things sound good, but at the end of the day, it's real simple. It's you. It's you. If you striving to make, like I'm gonna go back to the money. If you striving to make that million, when you get to that millionaire status, when you analyze how you got to that status, how you got to that level, it's gonna be all you. You put in the work. You had to change your perception, so you changed it. You had to change your daily routines, so you changed it. And mathematically speaking, that increases your percentage of reaching that level. And that's all you. That's all you. That's all you. At the end of the day, that universe gonna do what it's gonna do, man. It's gonna continue to go through its cycles. It's gonna do exactly what it's gonna do. Yeah, Eli Smooth, like I said, like I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say, let's remove the universe from the equation. Let's remove the universe from the equation, because at the end of the day, your perception is all that you have. So we're gonna remove the universe from the equation, because at the end of the day, it's all about your perception. Like I said, the universe ain't really doing anything but being a universe. We just perceiving it a certain type of way. So without your perception, the universe just is. So let's just leave the universe in that light. The universe just is. That's exactly what it is. It's just a universe. Everything is revolving around your perception. Everything is revolving around your perception. So once you understand that, it's a wrap. Your perception controls everything. Without your perception, what do you have? Without your own thinking, without your own thoughts, what do you have? That's where the true power is at. That true power ain't got nothing to do with anything outside of you, because you shaping that reality. Just like I said, man created God, as they say, in his own image, in his own likeness, and things like that. That's what we did. We created these guys. We giving this power to the universe, and we understand why we doing that, because we've been brainwashed and conditioned to believe that power exists outside of ourselves. And true 67, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, like they say. And I always say this, I always go back to this example. You have a car accident, 100 people witness the same accident. You ask that 100 people what happened, they're going to give you 100 different responses. That's how it is. Now, on a universal level, the accident occurred the way that it occurred. But the 100 people that witnessed it, they're going to give you 100 different perspectives in regards to what happened. But that wreck, it happened the way that it happened. It didn't happen at 100 different ways that people saw it. So that, and on that level, like I said, we give too much power. We give too much power, too much credit to that universe. Like that wreck just happened. The way that we perceive it. The way that we perceive it, that's where the power is at. Oh, Chef DTV, you definitely gotta keep that flame of change burning. Most definitely. NFL Malik, peace, what's going on with you? Jamar, peace, what's going on? Josh T, if you feel like you're not manifesting what you want, even when you putting in the work, then that's when you got to analyze your way of thinking, analyze your perception, your perspective. So if you putting in the proper work, but you still not manifesting it, then you need to focus more on the thoughts, more on the perspective, more on your state of mind. You got to focus on that. Because again, like I said, it's a group effort in regards to manifesting. So you could be putting in the work, but then you could still be lacking in the thought department. So they gotta be in correlation with one another. Son Moses, peace, what's going on with you? Don T, most definitely. Yeah, so what a lot of people don't understand, like I said, the thoughts, your ways and actions, like they have to correlate with one another. You can't think one thing and then do another thing, and then you can't be doing another thing and thinking another thing. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. They have to be in accord with one another. You have to be on the same page in regards to your ways and actions and your thoughts. McAllen, Fungay, what's going on with you? Jamar, when it comes to manifesting, like I said, everything has a formula. So basically, it depends on what you are striving to manifest. But when it comes to manifesting, like I said, everything has a formula. So I'm gonna go back to my example, like I said, because like y'all know I'm a trainer. So fitness. Let's say you striving to manifest. Let's say you striving to put on 10 pounds of muscle. Well, that's what you want to manifest. I want to put on 10 pounds of muscle. Well, it's a formula. It's a formula that you must that you must adhere to in order to put on that 10 pounds of muscle. So you have to change. You have to analyze first. You have to analyze the current way that you are eating, your current exercise regimen or program if you are currently exercising. Then you have to analyze your mindset. Like you have to analyze where you are at currently. All right, once you do that, then now you can strive to make the proper changes that need to be made in order for you to put on the 10 pounds of muscle. So if you want to put on the 10 pounds of muscles, if you're not working out at all, then you got to start working out about 3 days a week. Boom. That's one thing you have to do. If you eating 2 meals a day, then you have to increase that. You have to get 4 to 5 small meals a day in. Then you have to value your rest. If you're not getting the proper amount of sleep, if you're getting 5 hours of sleep, then you need to try to get about 6 to 7 hours of sleep. So these are things that you have to implement in order to reach that 10 pounds of muscle goal that you have. So that's how you will manifest that. So everything that you are striving to manifest, it has a formula. So that's the key in regards to manifesting. You have to figure out the proper formula that'll work for you. And then you have to follow that formula. And if that formula doesn't work, like I said, there are other different formulas. So if what I just said about gaining muscle, if that formula doesn't work for you, then we go back to the drawing board. There are plenty of other formulas to follow, but you got to follow the formula for one, the first one that makes sense to you, that's suitable for your way of life. Then you try that, you do it for X amount of months. Then you see where you at, you measure the results. And if it didn't work out for you, if it's not working out for you, then you go back and you try formula number 2. So it depends on what it is that you are striving to manifest. Then you just got to figure out the formula that's suitable for you, suitable for your way of life. Eli Smooth, no sir. If you say the positive affirmations and you think positive all the time, but you still feel the opposite, nope. Because feeling is crucial. So you can say and think positive thoughts all day long, but if deep down inside you doubting yourself, you worried about something, that's what you gonna manifest. Oh, Dominique, most definitely, man. A lot of these rappers, again, not only are they, like some of them just bold and just ignorant with some of the things that they are saying in the music. And then, like even with Mo3, like I said, he had that video of him dying in the video. So it's like, that's crazy. You got to be mindful of that type of stuff that you putting out. But a lot of these dudes, not only are they rapping about it, but they still out here doing some of that dirt. And then again, it's mathematics here. Percentages, statistics. So if I'm out here rapping about all these bodies that I done caught, people having a price on my head, if I'm out here rapping about that type of stuff, man, I'm dissing dead people, dead rappers and all that type of stuff. I'm doing that, and then I'm going out in public and I don't have protection, proper protection, then there's a very high chance of something happening to me. There's a very high chance of something happening to me if I'm out here rapping about that way of life and I'm still out here doing dirt, whatever the case may be, and then I'm out in public 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with no protection on me, then I have a high chance of something bad happening to me. So that, yeah, those rappers, not only are they talking that crazy, they dissing these dead rappers, they dissing these dead folks, they doing all that type of stuff, man. And then at the end of the day, they going out here exposing themselves. And that's even outside of the rappers that's out here doing that, that's talking like that. When you just a rapper, period, man, when you just had this money, period, you are a target when you are in certain environments in certain areas. So you just have a higher chance of something happening to you when you reach a certain level, when you go to certain parts of towns, or you involve yourself in certain environments and certain situations. If you don't have proper security and protection, you have a higher chance of something happening to you. So it's mathematics. So if I'm out here talking about all this bad stuff that I did, that I continue to do, and I'm just constantly dissing people, yeah, you have a higher chance of something bad happening to you, especially when you're going out in certain environments, man, to where things are known to happen to people, the average everyday person in those particular environments. So when you reach a certain status and you still frequenting those environments, like, that's on you. You asking for something to happen to you. McAllen Fun Game, most definitely. Swag yourself. What's going on? Josh C, and I talked about countering those negative thoughts. Basically, when you look at the world, man, it's a lot of negativity, it's a lot of chaos. So negativity tends to have a lot of momentum. So when it comes to countering those negative thoughts, that doubt, that fear, being worried and things of that nature, it's say for every one negative thought, man, you gotta counter it with like 2 to 3 positive thoughts. So it's just all about countering it. The moment that you come across that negative thought, the moment that it enters your mind, you have to counter it with 2 or 3 positive thoughts. And you got plenty of positive thoughts that you can counter it with, because we got a lot to be grateful for. We got a lot to be thankful for. So I seen one practice that I read in a book. A dude said basically, when he found himself in that negative state, when he found those negative thoughts creeping up on him, what he would do is he would take out a notebook and he would just start writing down everything that he's grateful for. And he said about 30 seconds to a minute into that, he didn't, like, that negative thought, it left. So that'd be a good practice to start with. So every time you feel that negativity creeping up on you, take out that journal, take out that index card, whatever it is, just take it out and start writing everything you're grateful for. That's a good way to just counter that negativity. Oh yeah, True 67, mathematics, that's the language of the universe. That's the language of the universe. Yeah, Jamar, and that's what I be telling people. So if I was out here rapping about that savage life, then best believe, like, if I'm going somewhere, I gotta make sure I'm fully protected. And at the end of the day, that ain't even gonna save you. Somebody want to take you out, they gonna find a way to take you out at the end of the day. But it's like, if I'm really about to be exposed out here, no weapons, no security, none of that, then I mean, you just asking for it, man. You can't be coming out here talking bad about people dead homies, and talking bad about people when they die, when they get killed. Then you rapping about bodies that you didn't caught on songs, and then expect nothing to happen to you. So at the same time, while it be messed up that the stuff be happening to these dudes, it's like when I listen to what they rapping about, I can see why I'm not surprised. Neelam, I'm gonna check her out. Montel, peace, what's going on with you? Jamar, when it comes to people leaving their hometown to achieve success, I feel like that's all in your mind. Some people, and basically the only reason, again, it's all mental. It's all mental. The only reason that people who move, when they move out of their hometown, the only reason that they are achieving that level of success when they move is because it's a mind thing. They feel like they needed that mentally. So when it happens, like now everything is working in their favor in regards to their mind, how they viewing the situation. So you can have that same outlook in regards to being in your hometown. So wherever I'm at, I'm good. And that's just my mentality. But if I have the seed planted in my mind that I can't achieve anything where I'm at, I gotta move, then that's exactly that's what I'm gonna end up giving birth to and manifesting. So if I feel that way, then that's what the reality is going to be. My reality is gonna reflect the way that I feel. So if I'm sitting in my hometown, I feel like, man, I can't make any progress here, then that's exactly what I'm going to continue to manifest. That's what I'm gonna give birth to. But if I had a perception that I have, like it don't matter where I'm at, I'm going to succeed, I'm going to be successful, then that's exactly what's going to happen. It's plenty of people that stayed exactly where they was at and they still manifested that same level of success. But when you have accepted the fact that you really feel like you got to move and relocate in order to succeed, then that's what you're going to have to do because you have accepted that reality. And like I said about that subconscious mind, it's not able to decipher fact from fiction. So when you continue to tell it that I need to relocate, I can't succeed in this city, then your mind is going to accept that. Your mind is going to accept that reality. So once your mind accepts that reality, then it's time for you to relocate because now your mind has accepted that we can't succeed in this city. We can't succeed in this part of town, so now we got to move. So that's the reason why it tends to work out in a lot of people's favor when they relocate because they have accepted it in their mind that they can't succeed in their hometown, so they got to relocate. So once they relocate, now their mind is like, now we have relocated. Now we good, fresh start. So they start really manifesting things because they feel like they're in a better state mentally. So that's what's really happening. But you can achieve and acquire the same type of things in your hometown. It's just about your perception though. Eli Smooth, nah, I don't feel like, again, it's a lot involved in regards to manifesting. It's a lot involved in regards to manifesting. I don't think just merely rapping along with the songs, I don't think you would just manifest something by rapping along with the songs. Like I said, it's a group effort. It's a lot involved in regards to manifesting. It's a lot involved in regards to manifesting. It's a lot in play, but just merely rapping some of the songs not gonna necessarily manifest a certain reality for you. Now, if you rapping the songs and then you try to live out the songs, then that's a different ball game. But if you just merely rapping the songs and you able to say, all right, this is just entertainment, this is just rap, and then you live in a totally different life. Like I know a lot of peaceful people, a lot of people that manifest a lot of positive things, and they listen to a lot of trap music. A lot of so-called destructive music because they able to look at it like, all right, this just music that I like for whatever reason that I like it. But once this music is off, my actions don't correlate to the music that I'm listening to the music that I vibe to. So a lot of people are able to make that distinction and that separation. So no, just by merely rapping the music, that's not going to lead to you manifesting what it is that you rapping in regards to the content. Because like I said, man, at a lot of points, man, I listen to a lot of gangster rap music. But you don't see me going out here thinking I'm about to be a gangster, though. Now, Jamar, I would say, just kind of being on the fence about it, now music, it can have an influence on your mind. So you, again, like I say when it comes more so to like children, it can easily influence the mind of a child, easily. That the music is influential, so it definitely can influence your way of thinking, especially as a child, man. So not too many people are able to, well, I'll say not too many children. As you grow older as an adult, then you probably able to just kind of separate, make that distinction. Like, all right, this is just music, but I'm not about to be acting. I'm not trying to act out these lyrics or act out this type of music. But when it comes to children, man, that music can be real kind of influential. It can be real influential. It can have an influence on the mind. Just like things within the media has an influence within the mind. And that's the reason why they do what they do, because they striving to have that influence and encourage children to do certain things. So it's all about that influence. And that's just me knowing marketing. It's all about influencing the mind through propaganda and things of that nature. So a lot of so music can definitely have an influence in regards to the ways and actions of an individual. And then if we even get deeper into it with like the frequencies of music and things of that nature. So yeah, it can get deep. Terenzo, peace, what's going on with you? Pseudo Charlatans, peace, what's going on? Yeah, Sean Dow, yeah, you got the thinking, man. The thinking is the key part. That's why I tell everybody. It start your thoughts. It starts there. It starts with what you think, how you think about yourself, your self-image. That's where everything starts. So a lot of times, again, just mathematically speaking, we strive to skip that one and get right to the two. No, if your thoughts are toxic, I don't care what it is that you are doing. All you will manifest is something that is toxic. All that you will give birth to is something that is toxic. It all starts with your thoughts. That's where everything starts. That's where everything emanates from. Your thoughts, your way of thinking, your mentality, your state of mind. That's where everything starts. So when we deal with manifestation, when we deal with manifesting, when we deal with giving birth to reality, making knowledge born, as we say, when we deal with that, we always got to start with your thinking, your thoughts. That is your mentality, your mindset. Everything starts there. That is your foundation. That's where everything starts. That is the first thing that you need to work on. Stop saying, okay, I want to manifest this, and stop skipping the mindset, the mentality, the thoughts, and then looking right into what you need to do. That's important. What you need to do is important. But again, you have got to have the proper mindset and the mentality first. That is when everything is going to align in your favor, line up in your favor. It starts with the thoughts, though. And a lot of us, we skip that, man, because we got a lot of suppressed thoughts, a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, past traumas, things that we have suppressed and buried deep within ourselves. And they say that's the number one cause of illness, unresolved conflict. So we are killing ourselves by suppressing these emotions, by suppressing these thoughts. And we wonder why we're not manifesting things that we are striving to manifest, that we want to manifest, because we burying, we suppressing, we ignoring, we running from these thoughts. You running from changing that mindset, because in order to change that mindset, you have to resolve those conflicts. You got to get to the bottom of that trauma that happened to you years ago, that happened to you as a child. If you don't get over it, but if you don't deal with it and strive to come to a resolution, it don't matter what you do. It don't matter what you do. Your actions at that point, it don't matter. Even what you eat, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to get to the bottom of those conflicts, those unresolved conflicts. Stop suppressing them. Stop burying them. You got to deal with them. Come to a conclusion. I'm not saying get over and act like it didn't happen, but you got to come to a conclusion. Because guess what? It happened to you and you survived it. You still here today. So you overlooking that reality. So stop running from that. Yeah, whatever happened to you in the past, it may have been detrimental. It may have been destructive. It may have been overly toxic. Stuff that you can't fathom and you wouldn't wish on anybody else. That may be true, but guess what? You survived it. You survived it. So why not look at it like that? But a lot of times we don't look at it like that, man. Again, like I said, we bury it. We bury it. So in order for you to manifest anything, man, you got to get to the bottom of some of those unresolved conflicts. Point blank, period. And we all have those unresolved conflicts. We all have them. We all have them. So you got to get to the bottom of them, man. You got to deal with the things that have bothered you over the years. Got to deal with them. So you got to be able to sit in that silence, sit with yourself. Eli, the best way to do it, like I said, one of the best ways to do it. You got to stop distracting yourself. So just sit in the room by yourself. You will find out that when you sit in that room by yourself in total silence, that all of those suppressed feelings and emotions, they will start coming to you. They will start coming to you. They're going to come and they're going to go. They're going to flow. Let them flow. Let them come to you. You're going to eventually reach that conclusion just by doing that. You're going to eventually reach that resolution just by doing that. But just sit with yourself. Sit in silence with yourself. Those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions, they're going to come to you. They're going to go. They're going to come and go. They're going to come and go. And when you just let them flow according to that, I'm telling you, you're going to reach your conclusion. You're going to reach your conclusion. You're going to reach it. You're going to find that resolution. You're going to get to the bottom of it. Oh, Eli, it's going to be painful. Again, like I said, it ain't, we're not saying that it's going to be easy. Of course it's going to be painful. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. We already know that. But we can't run from it, though. We can't run from it, though. We ain't said it was going to be easy. Again, if it was easy, everybody be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would have been doing it. So we already know. We already know, man. You got to embrace that, though. You got to embrace that struggle. You got to embrace that challenge. You got to embrace the difficulty. Just because it's going to be difficult, just because it's going to be hard, don't necessarily mean that it's something that we should run from. Embrace that, though. That's what's going to build that character. That's what's going to build that strength. But Eli, you got it, though, man. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got to face it, though. Like they say, face the fears. Sean, peace, what's going on with you? Yeah, D Monty Magic. And that's what I said. That's what I was kind of talking about and alluding to. When it comes to those suppressed feelings and emotions, it's not necessarily something that you're going to get rid of. It's not something that you're going to necessarily get rid of. It's going to always be there. It's going to always be there. Like if you lost a loved one, that's not something that you just going to get over and be like, all right, cool, it don't bother me no more. No, it's going to be something that's going to always be there. But you just got to come to that resolution. So that every time that it comes up, because it's going to come up, you have resolved it. You view it in a different light, opposed to when it comes up, you just try to distract yourself and suppress it. So that resolution, what that resolution is going to do for you is that, like I said, every time that thought comes up, every time that situation comes up, you have a different perspective in regards to what happened. It's going to help you be able to cope with it better, to live with it better. That's what we are after. That's what we are after. Because every time that you continue to suppress it, it's making your life that much harder. But every time that thought comes up, every time that negative situation comes up, you done viewed it in a better light. So then there you go. So all right, that loss of that loved one. Instead of you suppressing it, now you view it in a different light. You take the lesson from what happened. So every time it comes up, you're able to just build on that lesson. So it's not really bothering you. You're not running from it. You're not suppressing it. You're not continuing to bury it. Quentin, I can definitely, and I've seen a lot of examples of that. So that's why you got to be mindful who you have children with, who you be in a relationship with, and things of that nature. Because again, that energy, the energy that they have can affect, and not can, it will affect you. It will affect you. So you got to be mindful who you choose to have a relationship with, and especially who you choose to have children with, because not only will that affect you, but once you have that child, it will affect that child as well. So again, like I said, we all need some healing, man. But at the end of the day, that healing is gonna revolve around that person. That person will never heal if they not willing to accept the fact that they are damaged in the first place. Oh, AI Matrix, most definitely. You got to look at everything from, a lot of people say it's two sides there. I feel like it's more than two sides to a story. I feel like it's about 10 to 20 sides to a story. So a lot of people say, well, it's always two sides to every story. I feel like it's more than that. So I'm always looking at it from different angles, man. That's one way that you gotta do it out here. Eli Smooth, nah. Listen, Eli, when it comes to that, listen, if you don't press it, if you continue to suppress it, then what's gonna happen? I can predict the future. If you continue to suppress these negative feelings, these negative thoughts, these negative emotions, then you're just gonna make yourself more susceptible to a bunch of chronic diseases and chronic illnesses. So you're gonna see your body break down at a young age. At a very young age, if you continue to suppress these feelings and emotions. All right. Now, what's going to happen when you begin to let these feelings and emotions flow? Because that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. You are destroying the flow of the natural flow of your feelings and emotions. So you going against nature. So what happens when you go against nature, it becomes destructive. We see, and again, as above, so below, as within, so without. We can see that on a macro level. These people tampering with nature out here, and look how nature responds to that. Nature becomes destructive. But as I talked about, nature is neutral. But once you tamper with nature and you go against the nature, then it becomes destructive because you have poisoned it. So the same thing applies to the internal self. So when you go against your true nature, now you become self-destructive. So you got to let these feelings and emotions flow because that's what they want to do naturally. But when you suppress them, now you backing yourself up. You backing yourself up. You killing yourself. You destroying yourself. You going against your true nature. You going against the natural flow. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. So you got your body, like I said, your body naturally strives for balance, as they call homeostasis. So your body naturally wants to be centered. The moment that you suppress those feelings and emotions, you killing that. You killing it. You killing it. What we don't understand is, like I said, disease, sickness, illness, that's not natural. That's not normal. Your body naturally does not want to be sick. That's an imbalance. That means something is wrong. Your body in its natural state is centered. Your body in its natural state is not all the way alkaline. Your body is right in the middle, like 7.2, 7.4. That is the natural state of your body. It's being in balance, it's being centered. That is what your body is naturally striving for. So when you go against that grain, you are killing that. You are killing it. So just let it flow. Yeah, D Monty Magic, most definitely, man. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. If you go back, if you just a punching bag, man, you're gonna end up knocked down in the first round. You're gonna end up knocked down in the first round. And then the thing too about the boxing analogy, guess what? You win some and you lose some. You win some and you lose some. I mean, it is what it is. You win some and you lose some. You can't be afraid to get punched. That's one thing that 50 Cent was talking about in his book. You cannot be afraid to get punched. He said, because he talked about his upbringing and how he got into boxing and how he used to, box when he was a youngin'. And he said the moment that he became a better boxer is when he learned how to take a punch, when he stopped being afraid of getting punched. That's when he became a better boxer. You can apply that same thing to life. You got to stop being afraid of getting punched in the face. Yeah, it might hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. But you got to be able to embrace that punch. That's got to make you stronger. You can't just, all right, boom, get punched in the face and then not counter that punch and then not continue to fight. That's what you can't do. But a lot of us, we're afraid to get punched in the first place. I'm not afraid to get punched in the face, in the stomach, in the chest. I'm not afraid to get punched. And I know that life gonna punch me. Life gonna hit me with some good hooks, man, some good uppercuts, some good jabs. Life gonna hit me with them. But I'm gonna continue to fight though. I'm gonna continue to fight. If I get knocked down, I'm gonna get back up. If I get knocked out, guess what? That ain't the end either. If I get knocked out, then I'm gonna just go back into training mode and I'm gonna come back stronger for that same fight. So y'all done see it. Y'all done seen boxers lose that fight, come back, train harder, fight that same person and get them. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. If life knock you down, man, if life gets you with that knockout, train harder. Change your way of thinking. Then come back. Then come back and face it. But you win some and you lose some, man. You gotta stop being afraid to take that punch, to take several punches. Gotta stop being afraid of it. Oh yeah, Matrix, man. We all done took L's. A lot of people are afraid to admit that they have taken L's, and they want to say there ain't no such thing as losses, only lessons. I get it, but there is a such thing as a loss. Mathematically speaking, subtraction, losses, they are not necessarily negative. So again, it's all about perception. It's all about perspective. So I don't even like that saying, because again, I can take a lesson from a loss, but I still took a loss. There's nothing wrong with taking that loss. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with taking a loss, man. If you didn't play any type of sport, man, that loss was crucial, especially when you were a great team and you felt like you were invincible and you couldn't lose. When you take that L, it humbles you. It brings you back down to earth. It's like, man, we can be touched. That's crazy. But guess what? From a record perspective, it was a loss. It wasn't a lesson. So if you were 10-0 and you took a loss, guess what? You 10-1 now. You 10-1. So yeah, you can take a lesson from that loss, but mathematically speaking, it's still a loss. And there's nothing wrong with that loss. There's nothing wrong with taking a loss, as long as you take that message and that lesson from that loss. Yeah, Sean, I think that analogy would work for that as well. Yeah, Eli Smooth, and those are, and when people make those excuses for when they lose, then there you go. That's the problem. When you can't just take that L, like even when it goes back to my childhood, when we didn't fool with the guns like that. When we used to fight, man, listen. The sore loser is the one who would come back with the gun. The sore loser is the one that's trying to kill the person that got the best of them in regards to giving them the hands and things like that. The person that was the wise person was like, all right, man, dude gave me the hands when I took that L, and this is how he got the best of me. Then they come back, fight this same person, and then better result. But we all know about the sore losers, man, that's not able to extract the lesson from the loss. You got to be able to extract the lesson from the loss. You got to study your opponent. You got to study your opponent to see what it is that you did wrong, what it is that you need to improve upon. And sometimes life can be your opponent, man. It's going to be certain aspects of life that you can view as your opponent. And you got to study life like it's an opponent. If it's something that you're striving to do and it's like you failed, man, you took some losses, you got to look at that situation like it's an opponent. Man, what did I do? How did that situation get the best of me? How can I come back and conquer that particular situation? That's how you got to look at certain things that's going to happen to you in life. Like it's your opponent. Oh, Shane, peace, what's going on? You already know we got to study the enemy. You got to study your enemy. You got to study your opponent and to be able to conquer him, to be able to master him. Yeah, D Monty Magic, most definitely. Most definitely, man. You learn how to take that punch, man. It's like even with wrestling, man, when you learn how to take that bump, when you learn how to take that fall and things of that nature, man. So it's always like that, man. It's always like that, man. You just gotta learn how to take the punch. You gotta learn how to take that punch, and then you gotta find out what type of fighter you are. You gotta find out what type of fighter you are, man. Are you more offensive? You more defensive? Like Floyd Mayweather, man. It's hard to get Floyd. It's hard to get Floyd. Dude just mastered the art of like just defense. So what type of fighter are you? We like Mike Tyson. We knew what type of fighter Mike Tyson was. Mike Tyson had to get rid of you early. Mike Tyson had to get rid of you early. And he did that with most of his fights. But if Mike Tyson fights went the distance, you might have been able to get the best of Mike Tyson. So you just got to find out what type of fighter you are. Like, what are your strengths and weaknesses, man, as a fighter when it comes to conquering life? Are you more power-based? You more speed-based? You more defensive? You more offensive? What type of fighter are you? You got to figure that out. Basically, that's knowledge of self. Who are you? So if you're not the type of person that like being hit, then you got to figure out, you got to master defense. Like basically as a football player, I was a running back. I was a finesse running back. I wasn't a running back that was going to run straight into you. No, I needed to outrun you. I was going to try to juke you. I'm not trying to run straight into you and run you over. No. So I was a finesse type of back. I'm trying to outrun you. I'm trying to juke you. That's what I'm striving to do. So you just got to figure out, your style. And once you figure out your style, then you'll be able to conquer life. You'll be able to conquer life inside of you and outside of you. But you really got to figure out your style, man. What type of fighter are you? What type of player are you? What type of person are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Again, like I said, if you don't like being hit, then you got to figure out, you got to master juking. You got to master defense in that ring. If you a bruiser type, if you want to like a running back that don't mind the contact, then you're gonna approach life a lot differently than I would. Yeah, D-Monty Magic, and there it is. Cause I was more so the Mike Tyson type. I'm not trying to fight you for 3 or 4 rounds. I'm trying to knock you out quickly. Like I'm not trying to go 12 rounds with nobody. I'm trying to knock you out rather quickly. So hence, I can apply that to my life. When I got something that I'm striving to do, man, I'll be just striving to get it out the way. I'll be striving to get it out the way quickly when it comes to certain things. And that's just how I would be as a fighter, man. Like, listen, I'm relying on my power. I'm gonna strive to just knock you out in the first 2 rounds. I'm trying to get you out of there. That was my type of style. Montel, most definitely. I had aspirations of being a coach way back in the day. I was actually getting certifications for all that. Oh yeah, D-Monty, man, you definitely can't rush into a fight, man. Proper preparation. Definitely gotta, some of these, man, it take months to prepare for that one fight. It take months. It takes months. Yeah, AI Matrix, you'll probably be more the Ali type. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably be more the Ali type. Like I said, I was more power, I was more strength. I'm striving to get it done with. I don't got time to be sitting around 12 rounds trying to play around with somebody. I ain't got time to be playing with you for 12 rounds. I'm striving to end this early so I can go to the crib. So that's the type of person I was. That's the type of fighter I was. I don't have time for all this. Yeah, Sean, most definitely. People ain't striving to fight no more. So again, that's just mathematics. People, if you in a situation, you got to assess the situation. If somebody talking reckless to you and you don't have no protection on you in regards to like a weapon, and you really in your mind know that you can take this dude with the hands and take him down, but you got to think about it. Like, all right, if I take him down with the hands, that may result in the end of my life because this dude may not be able to take this L. He may not be able to take this L in a positive manner. So if I give him this L with these hands, then it ain't no telling what this dude got on him. And for the most part, that's what tends to happen. I know plenty of situations, man, where dudes didn't fought, and dude got the best of them, and the dude that got the best of them ended up dead. Yeah, Sean, I had asthma back in the day. That's another reason. I never really had endurance and things like that. So that's one reason why I was like, I'm trying to get this over with. I'm trying to get it over with. I ain't got time for it, man. I feel like you might get me if it go past 6. So you know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no endurance like that. So I gotta rely on this power, this strength. But we gotta figure out, you gotta figure out what type of fighter you are, figure out what type of person you are, and that's knowledge itself. Like I said, so we always gotta get in tune, man. A lot of times we like I said, we skip that part of the equation, we skip that part of the process. Oh, Dominique, most definitely. Matter of fact, we might have to change the time that I go live, man, and do it on Sunday so we can replace church service. Because you know what's going on right now. A lot of these pastors right now just lying to the people. They lying to the people. Yeah, D-Monty Magic, for the most part, like I said, it's messed up. Lose-lose situation because you get viewed as soft. But it's like, hey, it take a lot of strength to be able to walk away from a situation as a man. So it take a lot of strength. A lot of strength to be able to say, you know what, this ain't even worth my time, man. This is like beneath me. I'm way bigger than this. So I'm gonna just walk away from the situation. That's a lot of strength. The childish thing would be to just knock dude out, you know, which may result in you taking a life L. So we ain't got time for that. So it takes a lot of strength to just walk away from a particular situation. Now, on the flip side of that, now if I feel like you a threat to me physically, if I feel like you about to do something, now we got a problem now. But if I don't feel like you about to do anything, man, and you just talking, man, I'm leaving that situation alone. But if I feel like you a threat to me and my family and the people around me, nah, something gonna have to happen. Because at that point, I feel like you may do something to me. So if I feel that way, then it's gonna have to be some type of altercation. Oh, Jamar, most definitely. And I learned that running track too. That almost killed me a few times, man, trying to run the race of other people. That almost killed me, man, just trying to keep up with everybody else sometimes, man. That almost killed me in regards to like distance and things like that. I wasn't no distance runner, man. Sometimes you would run those distance races and you would be trying to run with somebody who this is what they do. And man, that'll almost kill you. That will almost kill you. So you gotta find your pace and stay at that pace. And everybody's pace is different. Dominique, most definitely. Man, listen, most definitely. And like I said, I'm about to start training for the powerlifting things myself. So it's like the training starts now. The training starts now. As a matter of fact, the training never really stops. It never really stops. But it definitely, when you're getting ready for a competition or something, man, you can't just start training a month before the competition and then be surprised when you lose. Tavon, I could definitely do that. Being proactive versus being reactive and things like that. People don't understand that. And I talk, especially when it comes to black people. We more reactive. We react instead of being proactive. So when it comes to manifest, part of what you need to do is learn how to be proactive. Instead of being reactive, man, we react and we respond to life instead of being proactive. So that's why, and that's another reason why we don't manifest a lot of things that we feel like we deserve and we need, because again, like I said, we react to life. We respond to life. Like that's what we do. Like, nah, you gotta be proactive, as we say within our nation. Write your history in advance. Write your history in advance. You had the power to do that. I've done that on several occasions. Like when I was studying to be the trainer, man, when I had to take the exam, I had the calendar on the date that I was going to take the exam. I wrote down on that calendar, passed NASM personal trainer exam, got the certification on that day. And this was like 2 months before I actually took the exam. So I wrote that history in advance. And that's one thing that we got to do. That's being proactive. Being reactive would have been thinking I know it all, and then I would have failed that first exam, and then I would have been like, dang, I failed it. So now I gotta change the way that I study, change the things that I study. No, I was proactive. I said it ain't about to get to no point to where I failed this test the first time and then have to learn from that. No, I'm gonna pass it the first time. I'm spending my money on this, I'm gonna pass it the first time that I take it. So we gotta learn how to write that history in advance, man. Now we getting a little metaphysical with it. But you had the power to do that. You had the power to do that, and that revolves around being proactive. And so that's another thing, man, that I just recommend. Like, if you got something that you striving to do, man, right, like whatever it is, find you a completion date. So if you want to increase your income by 20%, give yourself a timeline. Say, I'm going to increase my income by 20% by March 1st, 2021. That's writing that history in advance. I'm gonna increase my income by 50. I'm gonna increase my income 50% by February 2021. That's writing your history in advance. Because again, that's accountability. Once you see it on that calendar and you continue to look at that calendar, now you are holding yourself accountable for that. So if you don't increase that income by 50% or 50% by that date, now you are accountable for that. So when it doesn't happen, you got to analyze yourself and say, well, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I accomplish this? Because it's on you. It's on you at that point. Yeah, D-Monty Magic, most definitely. And you have the power to do all of that. You have the power to do all of that. And I'm always stressing that. You have the power to do all of that. Like even Bruce Lee talked about, man, not going against nature, but bending with nature, flowing with nature. Things like that, man. That's what you need to learn how to do. That's what you need to learn how to do, man. Just stop trying to go against the grain. Learn to flow with it. Learn to flow with it. Rich or famous by 22. Again, hey, write the date down. 22 when? Like when you first turned 22 or a few months after that, write that down. Write that down on that calendar. Look at it, have that date in mind, and focus on it. Like I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be famous by this time in 3 years or in 2 years, or whatever the case may be. In 3 years, like all right, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich by March in 2023. Tavon, like, the bananas help with those cramps. That was something that we used to do in track, man. We used to have cramps. Like, I used to eat a lot of bananas and they killed them. Oh, Sean, most definitely, man. You got to, get busy, get to it. That's like I tell people, man. I always just go back. I always just go back to what I kind of do as a trainer, man. Like I said, man, you just got to get to it. You got to get to it. There's no alternative, man. You got to get to the work, man. You got to get to the money, as I say. You got to put that work in. A lot of it, like the thinking part of it, like that's easy enough to just think it. It's easy enough to think that I just want to be in shape. It's easy enough to think that I just want to be healthy. That's easy. But when it's time to actually change the way that you eating and then start exercising, that's when people lose. That's when people fail. That's where people have difficulty. When it's time to put in that work, that physical work, that mental work. Oh, McAllen Fungate, that'll actually, man, that'll be peace. That'll be peace, man. And Marshall, we need more of that. We definitely need more of that. And I feel like every young black child should know some form of like a martial art. I feel like that should be a requirement. Oh, Jamar, that's peace, man. How you feel after that 24-hour fast? Oh, T Jizzle, most definitely. Most definitely. Eli Smooth, and that's the thing. That's the cycle of life. You gonna have ups and downs, man. That's part of life, bro. That's part of life, bro. Like my life ain't just all ups. Like no, I got plenty of downs. I embrace all of that though. So the way that you live it, that's how life goes. Ups, downs, hills, valleys, all of that. Again, like I said, just study the universe. It ain't just sunny all day, every day. No, you're gonna have some sunshine, bro. You're gonna have some cloudy days. You're gonna have some tornadoes. You're gonna have some earthquakes. You're gonna have tsunamis. Like just look at what they call Mother Nature. Just look at it. It ain't just all one way. It ain't just all one side. It ain't just all one dimensional. It ain't all just so-called positive. You're gonna have some destruction in there. D Monty Magic, man, peace, my brother. Oh, Shine Down, most definitely, man. I was trying to get my people to get me in the boxing for the longest. I took a martial art class. I was in there for like a few days, but I was like too old to be in a class. But I wanted to box. And matter of fact, it ain't never too late though. So I'm gonna get into it anyway. It ain't never really too late to get into anything. So I'm gonna get into boxing. I'm gonna master that. And then I'm gonna get into a martial arts. So I'm gonna master all of that stuff, man. I got time. Shakir, if you 6'3", 138, and you striving to get to 185, you're going to have to increase them meals, and you're going to have to live heavy and hard. So you're going to have to live about 4 to 5 days out of the week, and you're going to have to, I'd say about 5 to 6 small meals throughout the day. And you will get to that weight. It's just going to take time, though. Because you're supposed to, the healthy way to do it is about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week. If you're striving to put on muscle, even if you're striving to lose weight. So that's the best way to try to do it. But it's going to take you time to get up to that. But I recommend just heavy lifting 4 to 5 days out of the week. And then you want to get your 5 to 6 small meals a day in. And I recommend making your own protein shakes. See, I don't really fool with like protein shake, like the protein powders. Just make your own protein joint. Get you some bananas, man. Get you some almond butter, some peanut butter, some sunflower butter, some hemp seeds. Blend them joints together, man. Make your own protein joint. Drink about 2 or 3 of those a day. Cluster Price, man. Staying focused during the chaos. Like I said, when I talked about being proactive, starting with the end in mind. So I'm always focused on like the end goal, what I'm striving to build, what I'm striving to do for myself. So that's how I kind of remain calm and remain focused during the chaos. Because I'm in tune with myself. So when you in tune with yourself, what's going on outside, like all that chaos that's going on out of there, man, it doesn't bother me. Because I'm in tune with myself. I know what it is that I'm striving to do, what I'm striving to build, and I'm focused on that. Oh, the one, nah. Yeah, I forgot to add that I like to put water in my joint. So when you put the water in there with that particular mixture, then you be good. You just gotta put some alkaline water, distilled water in that joint. Then you will be good. And I may throw some spinach in there too. So it'd be banana spinach, like almond butter, peanut butters, sunflower butter, whichever butter that you want to rock with some hemp seeds and some like that. That'd be a good little mixture for like a protein shake. But again, you gotta throw the water in there. I forgot to add that in there. But yeah, you always got to stay focused on your purpose. You always got to stay focused on your purpose, man. And the thing of it is, a lot of people don't have that purpose figured out. So you gotta figure out that purpose, and you gotta stay focused on that purpose. That's the key. That's the key to remaining calm and focused during turbulent times. So I'm always staying focused on my purpose, staying focused on my passion. Like those two things keep me focused, keep me going. Then staying focused on your health. Being focused on all the chaos that's going on, that's not conducive for my overall health and well-being. So I don't focus on it. I don't focus on it because it's not contributing to my health. That's contributing to disease. That's contributing to ill health. So I'm not focusing on it. Yes, Shakir, potatoes would be good for gaining weight. Yeah, potatoes would be good for that. Yeah, sweet potatoes are like a superfood, man. Sweet potatoes are great for you. I recommend everybody consume sweet potatoes. White potatoes can serve their purpose as well, too. White potatoes have potassium in them. White potatoes got a lot of benefits to them, as long as you don't load them with a bunch of nonsense. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about with the loaded potato, the loaded white potatoes. So white potatoes can serve their purpose, too, depending on what your goal is, depending on what your objective is. So both potatoes can serve a purpose. Sean, you say you started losing weight doing what? Justin, when it comes to reversing diabetes, like I said, that's one of the easiest things to reverse on paper. Because basically at the end of the day, all you gotta do is restrict your consumption of refined carbs. And then you gotta focus on, you wanna do some fasting. They have told a lot of people that have diabetes that they cannot fast. So a lot of people that have diabetes feel like fasting is dangerous. Every book that I've read in regards to people reversing diabetes, they have did some form of fasting. So if she was to follow like a plant-based, if she could go raw, like a raw food lifestyle, definitely reverse it. I got a book called Conscious Eating where he talked about people with type 2 diabetes, and he put people on this raw food, vegan type of diet. And he said everybody pretty much that had the type 2, they ended up reversing it. It may have been like 1 or 2 that didn't reverse the condition. And even somebody that had type 1, they ended up reversing that condition and getting off the medication. So I know for a fact, just based off of plenty of books that I have on it, that like a raw food vegan lifestyle can reverse it. And then when you do intermittent fasting and things like that, that can end up eventually reversing diabetes. But you want to definitely get her to do some fasting, and you want to get her to go like as raw as possible. And she want to definitely want to just limit or eliminate the amount of refined carbs that she is consuming. The white breads, the pastas, the candies, the artificial sugar, like the fruit juices that they have in these stores. Don't be drinking anything like that. So she just want to minimize or eliminate the consumption of refined carbs. You want to focus more on like greens, nuts, seeds, and then just whole grains and things like that. And that type 2 diabetes will reverse itself in no time. Terrell, appreciate the donation. When it's like easy to cook, I recommend, man, like one thing you can make You can make like little vegan chilies, brown rice, quinoa with like some beans. And then just even steaming your veggies, like all that type of stuff is simple, man. Just making your beans, steaming your veggies. But for the most part, you want to focus on consuming as many raw foods as you can. You want to strive to go about 75 to 80% raw. Angelic Peace, what's going on with you? Yeah, Sean Dow. So you increase that magnesium, so that's a good thing. But how much weight did you end up dropping? Terrell, man, appreciate it. Oh, McAllen, fun guy, man. Being educated by this system was I always stand on that being a big waste of time. Being a big waste of time. It's a big waste of time. Montel, it depends on, I don't know what stores are out there by you, but you can pretty much find brown rice in any like grocery store. Alonzo, I already know. I'm gonna do a video on that. But matter of fact, y'all already know when it comes to me talking about reversing like diabetes or reversing any condition, I'm gonna bring out the books. So the books that I got in regards to the people that reversed it, they are actual doctors. So they can argue with me all day long. I just tell them to read these books by these doctors that have reversed the condition. But type 2 diabetes definitely don't have to be a death sentence, man. That can be reversed, and it has been reversed. So that definitely doesn't have to be a death sentence, but they like us to believe that. So once you get diabetes, they put you on all this medication and things of that nature that's actually making the situation a lot worse. Tristan, peace, what's going on with you? Raspberry Bush, man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot of different ways, man. It's a lot of different ways. Like reversing type 2 diabetes, boom, easy. Reversing like heart disease, boom. I got ways for that. Reversing cancer, a lot of different ways to do that. Even when it comes to like HIV and AIDS, y'all already seen the video I did about that. But all of these things can be reversed. They don't want to teach you that though. They don't want to teach you that though. Savon, the pomegranate is good, especially for protecting your immune system. Oh, Angelic, the vegan lifestyle is nowhere near as complicated as a lot of people think. It's nowhere near as hard. Nowhere near. It's quite easy to do it now. Actually, they did, because they did infiltrated the vegan industry, so it's actually a lot easier to be unhealthy as a vegan nowadays because they did infiltrated the industry. So they got a bunch of this imitation meat out here that ain't necessarily the best for you. Oh, Angelic, reversing diabetes and man, and both of those conditions, especially with diabetes. I'm gonna give y'all some quick science on diabetes. One thing about diabetes is, even with cancer, I'm gonna focus on cancer. Cancerous cells love sugar. So when you continue to feed yourself refined carbs, you are feeding the cancerous cells, which is leading to them growing, multiplying. In order for you to reverse the cancer, you have to starve the cancerous cells. That is why fasting is very crucial, because these destructive cells, the main food that they like is sugar. So if you keep supplying these cells with sugar, they will continue to grow and be destructive and multiply. When you begin to starve these cells, that's when you begin to reverse these conditions. And that's the type of stuff that they don't want to teach. So one of the main things that you want to focus on in regards to cancer, diabetes, and just anything, and I don't even like to place a name on some of these illnesses, because at the end of the day, it's all a result of being imbalanced. It's toxicity, it's mucus, whatever you want to phrase it as. But you striving to starve those cancerous cells. You striving to starve those destructive cells. That's what you are striving to do. And fasting is the best way to do it. Our NFL Malik, man, they've been sitting on. They had this COVID vaccine 10 years ago. Yeah, they had this COVID vaccine 10 years ago. Snuggle 668. Yeah, I just started coming into knowledge about those joints. Yeah, I gotta give me some. Like the rose hips. Yeah, but NFL Malik, they had this vaccine. They had a COVID vaccine 10, 15 years ago. That mother was in the lab. They just been letting this thing fold out. They didn't already. So now we're in a position where it's time to release the vaccine. But they already had this vaccine. It's a few movies that I forget off the top of my head in regards to the name, but it's a few movies that told you that's how they operate. To where an outbreak will happen, and they already had the vaccine. Already, they were just waiting to release it. Tristan Bryant, man, it depends. It depends on what you're striving to learn about. Like I said, I got a lot of books that I recommend, so it depends on what you're striving to learn, what you're striving to learn about. Oh yeah, Lonzo, it's money to be made. It's money to be made from diseases, from keeping us sick. Ooh, T Jizzle, man, I can't remember the name of this book. I let somebody borrow it. It was a vegan cookbook. It was written by Stickman from Dead Perez, his wife. His wife had wrote a good cookbook, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, man. But she had wrote a book, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna just look it up, and then I'll probably try to post it in the comments or something. But y'all know what it is though, man. I done chopped it up. It's been a good dialogue. But again, I got somebody that's about to come in here that I gotta train. It's always a pleasure, man, interacting and dialoguing with y'all, man. Y'all be paying attention to your boy when he be venting, kind of going off and things like that, man. So I always appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in to your boy. But I gotta get this gym ready, man. I gotta get this workout ready. Gotta run him through the ground, make him hate me. You know how that go. So y'all enjoy this Sunday, man. I'm gonna see y'all again tomorrow. Then after tomorrow, y'all probably ain't gonna see me for about a week because I gotta go out of town, gotta go down south to Mississippi. So y'all can just go back and rewatch some old joints if you need some inspiration. But I'm gonna have to take a week off because I gotta go to Mississippi, be with the fam. Gotta see my grandfather, dude, getting up there to about 90. So you know we gotta holler at him. We ain't finna let the COVID stop us from hollering at our relatives and our loved ones and things like that. So y'all be easy. Y'all enjoy this Sunday, man. Y'all stay healthy. Y'all stay productive. Get some great things done today, man. Peace, y'all.